Come on, desk. I'm like, I'll be here Wednesday. Drop them off. I'm like,
Call to order, Town of St. John Board of Zoning Appeals for October 16th, 2023. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. John, could we get a roll call, please?
Yep. Robert Burleson.
Here.
Yolanda Cardona.
Here.
Drago Popovic.
Here.
Brendan Sheeran is absent. Mark LaRue.
Here.
Attorney Adam Decker.
Here.
Councilman Liaison Brian Blazek.
Present.
Town Manager Joe Wizawati.
Present.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is minutes from September 18th, 2023. Has everyone had an opportunity to review those? Any questions, or we can entertain a motion?
Motion to approve September 18th, 2023 Board of Zoning Appeal regular meeting minutes.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
A second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Oh, you're good, trust me, aren't you? First on the agenda, 2023-16 developmental variance, continued public hearing from August 21st, 2023 from St. John MC 24-554F, St. John MC 24-554F1, St. John MC 24-554F2, St. John MC 24-554B4, and St. John MC 24-496 to allow electronic message church bulletin sign to allow sign square footage of 364 square feet or less, the maximum of 352 square feet larger than permitted, to allow a sign of that height of 18 feet 6 inches, which is 12 feet 6 inches higher than permitted, to allow a sign location to be within the street right of way and to have a height of 18 feet 6 inches, which is 12 feet 6 inches higher than permitted, and to allow existing parking spaces count greater at 11211 West 93rd Avenue and 9330 Wicker Avenue, St. John, Indiana. St. John Evangelist Church, Kevin Hunt, attorney. They have asked to be removed or rescind their application, correct, John?
Correct, yeah, so you'll just have to close the public hearing, and then if they want to come back for that, they'll have to re-advertise and go through all the steps again to get on the agenda.
Gotcha. So from that standpoint, Mr. Decker, we have to have a motion to rescind this?
No, I would simply move, I think it should be perhaps two steps. One, to close the public hearing
Okay.
on this agenda item, and then two, to simply withdraw the item as an agenda.
Application.
Agenda.
Okay.
It's not really a rescission, I think it's a request
To remove?
to dismiss, really.
Okay.
So I think the second motion could be to simply dismiss. The
Okay. So, in this instance, we want to close the public hearing and make a motion to, you just said it, and I forgot.
Dismiss.
Dismiss, thank you. It's been a long day. Dismiss the application for St. John Evangelist Church and their signage. Next on the agenda, 2023-18.
We need a vote?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman,
Sorry, I
if
missed
it's a
something.
motion, then that requires action.
Okay,
public
that's-
action, so.
That's what I was asking, maybe I missed that point of it. So I will entertain a motion to,
Motion to close
you.
applicant for St. John the Evangelist Church.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Next on the agenda, 2023-18 developmental variance from St. John MC 24-385A and St. John MC 24-385A1 to allow a refuge that is not completely contained within the principal building or accessory building, and to allow a refuge building which is not included which does not include a roof, at 10845 Parish Avenue, St. John, Indiana. SR and LLC applicant owner and Jeff Brandt agent. Mr. Brandt, will you step up at the podium, please?
Good evening. Would you like to, does everybody have a plan of what,
I believe we do.
do you have a, well, I don't think you have a plan of what the refuse, do you want a plan of the refuse container, or,
Sure, if we don't have it in this packet, that would be great.
I don't know if you have it or not.
It shows a building out here, dumpster enclosed with roof.
Location is, but this will show you.
Okay. Need 4 of those at least, I would say. Thank you. If Joe would care for one or not, or John.
Yeah, please. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Jeff Brandt. I'm in front of this commission to ask for a variance to omit the refuse container roof that's part of the project on Parish Avenue. And the main reason why is that both of my refuse suppliers or vendors say that they will not be able to remove the container without damaging that roof. And I drove the whole neighborhood and no one else has a roof on their refuse containers. So I'm asking this board tonight to consider this variance to omit the roof that's part of your development standards for the overlay district there on Parish and I think 231. And there are pictures there that I submitted with everyone else in the area that do not have roofs on their refuse containers.
You still plan on having gates on the front to?
Oh, yes. It'll be everything like you see in the plans provided, and it'll be just like my neighbor, the Hagwish Savings Bank, that will have gates, it'll be enclosed, but they can't, they have a very difficult time with removing the refuse containers when there's a roof on top of the container.
Did you get a picture of the Hegwish Savings Bank?
Yeah,
That's
there
the
should be
picture
one
that's
there.
up
That's
right
the
now.
Hagwish,
That's the one,
that's
okay.
the one right next to it, right there.
John, is there any developments that has a roof on their refuge?
No, not that I can think of off the top of my head. Usually, everybody kind of asks for that variance right off the bat instead of coming back later on and getting it.
So most everyone or everyone's
Yeah.
I don't recall ever seeing one.
got a variance?
So is there an opportunity down the road to remove that?
That's exactly what I was
Yeah,
just
I think-
thinking
I think
too.
we need
Yeah.
It's like
Look at
something
it.
that we
I
always,
mean, the way
we always
they-
do, so why not
Yeah.
just take it off and
If it's a
stop wasting
standard
folks'
for,
time?
for the town, then
Yeah.
it makes sense. Maybe there's certain areas that it makes sense, but, you know.
I think in other areas, the person picking up the trash rolls the dumpster out to the truck and hooks it in the back, but most of the companies around here, they just want to open the gate, pull in with the forks, pick it up, shake it, set it back down, back out, and close the gates and move on. So instead of having to manhandle the full dumpster out from under the roof to be able to grab it and pick it up, I think that's why
Mhm.
a lot of the companies are against the roofs that actually service the dumpsters.
Right.
So I guess they can't put the forks in, pull out, and lift it? They gotta,
Good,
yeah, they could.
good, yeah.
I mean,
It's
they're
just
getting their forks in.
opportunities.
It's more of a step and an inconvenience than anything else. And to, John's point, every one of these is getting a variance on it. So, maybe it makes sense to change the standard so we don't have to have variances for dumpster enclosures.
Have we ever had any complaints with not having one?
No, I haven't really heard of any complaints. Most of the dumpsters in there do have the plastic flip-top lid.
Right.
So as long as the business keeps the flip-top lids closed, it keeps anything from flying out.
Or animals, critters getting into it
Yeah,
too,
that too.
birds and so forth. Okay. I mean, to your point though, Bob, they had to pick it up and pull it out. I think what Mr. Brandt's position was, or with the companies he's been dealing with, is that they pick it up, there's always an opportunity to hit that roof and damage that roof. So they're still back at square one. So it make more sense to me just to, when we do the variances to, or the our variance, or the developmental part of it, whatever the heck the name of it is.
I'm sure there was a reason why they did it at some point and required it, but, you know,
Has to be aesthetic, so I
Yeah.
can't see any value to it, quite honestly.
mm-mm.
Okay,
I mean, maybe in residential areas or something like that, it would make sense, you know.
right, right.
As long as the container itself has a roof, I mean, I think they just showed one that doesn't, so I think you can have, you know, if you have the container that has the roof, then it's fine for the structure
a
not
lid?
to have it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
lid,
the
yeah.
lid, I'm sorry, did
Yeah,
I
you
say
can see
roof?
here, this
The
one
lid, I'm
has-
sorry, yes.
Just want to make sure we're on the same
Yeah,
page.
yeah, no.
That one has the lid on it, and then it's fenced from sight on the road there.
Right. Any other questions for Mr. Brandt? Otherwise, you have a seat, sir, and we're opening up for public comment. Don't go too far. Open up for public comments. Anyone here regarding the request by Mr. Brandt the first developmental variance on a roof for his refuge building? If not, we'll close the public comment portion. Mr. Brandt, please step up to the podium again. Any questions for Mr. Brandt? Otherwise, we'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve 2023-18 developmental variance, STJMC 24-385A, and 20, that's the same thing, yeah. That approval will not be injurious to public health, safety, morals, comfort, or general welfare of the community. The use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected substantially in a substantially adverse manner. That the strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will result in practical difficulties in the use of the property.
Any conditions we want to put on there just to make sure we get everything we need, like the gates or something?
Yeah, conditions that there's a front gate enclosure for aesthetic purposes. to maintain
There will
that.
be there will be a gate on the
Okay.
structure.
And the dumpster has lids?
Yeah, and lids on the dumpsters, of course.
Another condition would be to have the dumpsters have lids to them as well. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Good luck,
Thank
Mr.
you very
Brandt.
much.
You're welcome. Next on the agenda, 2023-19 developmental variance from St. John MC 24-96B and St. John MC 24-462A and C to allow the construction of a detached garage at the that is approximately 16 feet in height, 2 feet taller than what is permitted, and to allow for 4 foot 6 inch of side yard, 6 inches less than what is permitted at 10281 Joliet Street, St. John, Indiana. Deanna Mitros, applicant owner, Ann Keller and Michael Label, agent, GC Pro LLC. You step up to the podium.
Good evening.
Is
Deanna
identified?
Keller, GC Pro.
Okay.
I'm asking for the variance to grandfather this garage. It was a fire in the house that the garage caught, as same as the neighbor. They actually got their garage rebuilt. I know it wasn't damaged as much as Ms. Mitros, that we actually had to demolish the whole thing. But there is a slab, there is a driveway, as you can see on the plat of survey. I took a pictures. I didn't know I was supposed to actually upload them or send them. So, yeah, I'm asking to rebuild whatever was there before. And the drawings that we proposed to the building department was exactly what she had before.
It's the same.
Same garage, nothing, no structure, no different structures, same windows, side door. It's just the slab is already pre-existing, same as the driveway.
Same height as well as what there was before? We're
It
not
was,
trying to
yeah.
gain a couple feet or anything?
I think there is an issue with the garage there, the garage door.
Okay. What was the issue with the garage door? As far as the height of it, or what are we?
I think she had like a space that she really wanted to have the same build-up. And I'm not gonna, and the neighbors have the same, so she wants, I'm sorry, I'm gonna show you this, and I don't know who I can show it. This is the pre-existing neighbors, and her garage look the same.
Okay. This shows one door, though. You got two there, right?
Well, this is the neighbors. Hers
Okay.
is gone.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought I was
Yeah.
looking at what was remaining of the neighbors. Okay,
Yes.
no. So
they
that's
they rebuild theirs.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I don't have a copy, so I didn't know. And ours is on a.
I drive by it every day and see it.
Oh, okay.
Was there the day of the fire.
You don't
Yep.
need to see it. You know what was there.
Yep, yep.
okay. Any questions for Anna Keller regarding the request, or the request from Mrs. Mitros? No questions? Have a seat for just a moment. Don't go too far. We'll open it up for public comment. Is anyone here regarding this petitioner's request? And we'll close public comment. No, there's no one here for that. You step back up. Ms. Keller? Ms. Keller, can you step back up to the podium, please?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's what, you're fine.
I tried to answer the
You're
question.
fine. So there's no public comments. Is there any remonstrances? I forgot to ask you about that the first time, or the other one.
No, we did not receive anything.
Thank you. Any other questions for Ms. Keller? Otherwise, we'll entertain a motion on this petitioner's request.
What sort of materials are we gonna build the garage? What is the garage the garage gonna be built with? Is it gonna be matching the house again, or?
Correct.
Okay.
We are, actually, the architect is finishing up. Building department did ask us for a material breakdown, what we gonna be building with. So they're proposing that probably by tomorrow to the building department.
Okay, and it's gonna be similar,
Yes, it's
Aesthetics
gonna be
is-
the same, yes, exactly what is on the drawings proposed by the architect, but they wanna break down on the materials.
sure. And there's not gonna be any modifications that deviate from what the original design or height was?
No.
The foundation was in good condition as far as,
Yes, it is. It's actually better than the driveway,
That's unfortunate.
right?
I can't talking all day today. I would like to make a motion regarding this petitioner's request.
I'll make a motion on 2023-19 developmental variance, that approval will not be injurious to public,
Approve or deny?
to approve it,
Thank you.
that approval will not be injurious to public health, safety, morals, comfort, or general welfare of the community. The use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner. The strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will result in practical difficulties in the use of the property.
Any contingencies or conditions?
Contingencies be that the aesthetics of the garage are, I guess, in harmony or match the existing exterior of the existing house, and that it does not deviate from the original design of the previous garage that was in its place.
Okay.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Good luck with
Thank
your-
you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda, 2023-20, developmental variance from St. John MC 265F to allow a minimum lot size of at least 1 acre within the industrial zoning district, 9 acres less than what is currently permitted at 10501 West Joliet Street, St. John, Indiana, Schilling Development applicant owner Jack Schlager, agent.
Good evening, Jack Slager with Schilling Development. I'm here tonight to request a developmental variance for the St. John Business Park. This is a 55-acre parcel that we own on the south side of Joliet Street. That's between the sets of railroad tracks. It wraps around behind Hack Cemetery. And it's currently zoned industrial I. There's not a lot of industrial I zoning in St. John, so this is probably one of the last undeveloped parcels with that zoning. The zoning code, your town zoning code, does not have a lot of requirements. It's only 2 pages long in the I zoning, but one of the unusual requirements that they have is that the minimum lot size in an industrial zone is 10 acres. We have 55 acres total, and about 35 of it is usable due to floodplain detention requirements. And so if we were forced to have lot sizes with a minimum 10 acres, we would only have about 3 lots. And at that point, I don't know that it would actually be worth developing. We probably would sell it off as a single industrial user. What we are proposing is a business park that will be combination of some light industrial storage, businesses, professional office. We're looking at probably, if we can do 1 acre lots, the buildings would generally be between 8,000 and 12,000 square feet. Your current industrial zoning does still have requirements for parking, landscaping, signage, and lighting. And we will add additional architectural requirements, such as no outside material storage and no on-street parking. So it'll feel a little different than some of the other industrial parks that are in town, which are basically just pole barns and asphalt parking lots. We're looking to elevate this to, like I said, some architectural standards and some landscaping requirements. If this is approved, this gives we need the variance to be able to move forward with engineering. Our next steps would be to go to the Plan Commission and start to work through that phase, but we can't even start the engineering unless we know that we can do 1 acre lots. And then each individual site would still need to come before the Plan Commission for site plan approval each time there's a building proposed on one of these lots. I did do a couple of sample sites of what a 1 acre lot could lay out. There's a sample building that's been proposed. That would be a garage type use. And then these 2 site plans that John's showing. The top one there is 9,000 square foot building. Would potentially have overhead garage doors on the north side and parking on the south side for some office use. The other one, the one on the bottom of the page there is 9,500 square foot building, and that could be anywhere from 2 to 4 different users. You'd still have some parking. You'd have some access through the garage doors.
Kennedy Avenue, huh?
Yeah, it actually lines up between the railroad tracks, and so we envision that road. We're going to dedicate an 80-foot right-of-way for Kennedy Avenue. Our hope is that someday it becomes a collector all the way from Joliet down to 231.
Not Wizawati Way, huh? Not Wizawati Way. John Kennedy, huh? Okay.
They want to have.
I see how it works here.
They want to have success.
So that would be an 80-foot right-of-way with a 36-foot wide street, a wider street. We'd have oversized cul-de-sacs, assuming you'd have some trucks and things of that nature. But for us, the main variance we need at this point is the 1 acre lots to be able to move forward with engineering.
It looks nice.
So just so I understand, Jack, so each of these buildings you're showing, there'd be 3 different,
Potentially. I mean,
Potentially
yeah.
3 to 4 or 2 to 4?
Yeah, so about 5-6 months ago, we did a little bit of clearing on the land, and we put up a sign just to see if there was actually interest for this type of use. We've been getting some phone calls. I would say the majority of the calls are coming from existing St. John businesses that have outgrown their existing space, or they're currently leasing and want to own. So you'll see, sometimes it'll be a single user on one lot. Other times, you might have, where these almost become like business incubators, where you might have an electrician in one, and he has 2 vehicles and some office staff, or a plumber or a carpenter. So some of these buildings may be divided up into several users, but in general, I just wanted to give you a feel for what size building would fit on those lots and still meet the parking requirements and the landscaping requirements.
And if you needed to, you could consolidate lots.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing. We may see, I mean, potentially, yeah, you could get somebody that comes in and wants 2 lots or 3 lots combined.
I like the fact you put a sidewalk through there, too.
Yeah, this would include sidewalk along Joliet, and then for sure, at least sidewalk along one side of Kennedy. I don't know if it would go on both sides, but those are things that we'll have to work through at the Plan Commission stage.
Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, or maybe it's more of a planning commission thing, is, so that, I'm just want to wrap my head around the amount of tenants you can have, or how they're going to divide up this building. Are we talking as many as 4, or greater? Or are we looking, I mean, from the standpoint of that one lot or that one building having how many tenants in it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I can't envision it ever being more than 4, especially with these buildings being, really, you're not going to fit more than about 12,000 square feet on there, so.
9,000 plus, if you got someone that's
Yeah.
like in the trade, they're going to have a lot of equipment that they
Yeah.
need to store inside.
Yeah, so, yeah, that was one of the things we asked, was that there, or that we are going to require, is no outside storage of materials. They may have a van or a truck that parks outside at night,
different.
but we want to stay away from pallets and supplies, pipe, all those sorts of things. That would not be what we'd be looking for in this area.
Okay. Mr. Decker, is that something we can put in the contingency or conditions with regards to this property?
It is.
Make sure
yes.
that we do have there's no outside storage, as Mr. Slager had mentioned.
Right. There, you may consider and implement any conditions or commitments as part of
Okay.
a variance from the development standards. So yes, short answer is yes.
Okay. So you had a question, I stepped over you.
Oh, yeah, looks like, I don't know if this is considered wetlands, but there's a portion that's not represented on the map. That would be right around lot 8, 7 or 8 or something like that. You don't see it on this map, but it's on the
Plat survey?
Google Earth.
Yep, there is a wetland in there, a small little area of trapped water. We have done the wetland delineation, so that'll be part of the process we work through with our engineers, will be to get that mitigated.
Okay, so the plan would be to mitigate that?
Yeah.
That down here?
Yeah,
Yeah, so everything's going to be north of there, though.
right, that's where, like,
No,
this is
I
at.
don't think so.
No?
It's landing right about here.
They showed it on their
On the-
plat.
Yeah, the plat surveys.
Are you looking to
right
do
here.
it like off-site compensatory
It
storage,
right
that
here.
kind of thing?
Yeah, it may be on-site, or it may be
Oh, okay.
off-site, yeah.
Here's the
We've
big
got
lake.
some extra room there.
Okay, so the development comes down this far.
It goes down
I'm
to,
looking at the wrong thing. Okay, thanks.
yeah,
Thanks.
just a little bit. It comes in about right here.
Okay, gotcha.
You said the Army Corps of Engineers are involved with that, or?
So far, we've done the delineation. Our wetland scientist has done the delineation for the entire property. We've received the, they call it a JD, jurisdictional determination, that they agree with the delineation. And so at this point, so our next step again is to go to engineering, actually start to engineer this, and then they will work out a mitigation plan for that. So we'll either move it or we'll mitigate it off-site.
So Jack, this drawing here, is this the southern boundary, going through the lake?
That
of
is,
this
yes.
property?
Yep.
Okay. So you don't go any farther?
That's correct.
Okay.
So has the Army Corps of Engineers been notified on this, or is this?
Not yet. We're
Okay.
still in the, again, we haven't started engineering or anything yet.
Okay.
Is this due to the
Lot size.
variant lot size? Any other questions for Mr. Slager? Mr. Slager, just have a seat for a moment. We'll open it for public comment, or as well, do we have any remonstrances regarding this?
We have not received anything, no.
Okay. Is anyone here regarding, we'll open for public comment. Is there anyone here regarding this petitioner's request? Nope. And we'll close public comment. Is there any other questions for Mr. Slager? Otherwise, we'd entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I think I want to add.
Yes.
Essentially, the difference between a condition and a commitment is that a commitment is a written document that would be recorded as part of the approval and would then essentially encumber the property as a recorded document, much like restrictive covenants would do.
Right.
A condition, however, is not recorded. It's not a written document, but can still be included as part of any approval for a variance.
Okay. I don't think we've ever used commitment before. We always used either contingent or condition regarding these topics in the past. So a commitment was more binding then?
It is. In my opinion, a commitment is more binding in that it's a written document that that in this case, the developer and the applicant would prepare and it would be recorded. And so therefore, it's a recorded document establishing whatever, those requirements are of that particular commitment.
Okay.
And so it would run with the land, if you will. And
Okay.
so future owners of the individual lots would also be obligated. There would be other enforcement mechanisms too, if they're written into the restrictive covenants for the
Yeah.
subdivision, as
I-
Mr. Slager alluded
I
to.
think that's where we would end up going with this, is it would be more of a restrictive covenant, again, probably worked out at the plan commission level. And we're gonna have to get into the details of what define outside storage. Are there areas that can be screened? Again, vehicles, if there's vehicles, they're allowed outside, but we don't want long-term storage of materials. So all of those things would likely end up in our covenants and restrictions, along with landscaping requirements, architectural requirements. Yeah.
Sure. The reason I mentioned that or get questioned to is because you brought it up in your proposal.
Sure.
So I just wanted to make sure that, not everyone's gonna be driving down your street anyway.
Right.
From that standpoint, but aesthetically, the idea of having this business park is gonna be as you mentioned, is an upgrade from
Yep.
standard.
Absolutely.
ones. So let's try to, hit that mark from the get-go.
Absolutely, that's our intention, yep.
Anyone like to make a motion regarding this petitioner's request? I have no further questions.
Motion to approve 2023-20 development variance, lot size of at least 1 acre within industrial zoning district. That approval will not be injurious to public health, safety, morals, comfort, or general welfare of the community. The use and value of the adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected in substantial adverse manner, that the strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will result in practical difficulties in the use of the property, and the condition or contingency is commitment is no storage of materials,
Outside storage.
outside storage.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Good luck with your project, Mr.
Thank you.
Slager. Next on the agenda, new old business, which I don't believe we have any. We'll open it for public comment. If anyone here would like to make a public comment? So step up, give us your name and your address, please.
Good evening. I'm Elvin Cockerham. I live next door to the lady that was just here for the variance on the garage. I commend you all on letting her build her garage. I appreciate it because it's kind of getting to be an eyesore. But I do commend you. I was here just after the fire about fire hydrants. I see we have started maintaining them. I commend you for that.
We had nothing to do with that, by the way. So when I set the record for that. It's our fire department safety.
Well, I noticed that it was a outsource.
They're doing flow testing on the fire hydrants as well as part of the flushing process. That's what they're doing.
Okay, well, I commend you on that. I really do, because if it wasn't for the fire hydrants not working, there probably wouldn't have been such a bad fire. Now, do we have a game plan on how long it's going to be before we upkeep them?
Can I make a suggestion, sir?
Yes, sir.
Could you maybe come to the next town council meeting? That's where you need to bring this up, and perhaps even the safety board, correct? Joe, what
Well,
would you say?
the last time I brought it up, I was told I was at the wrong meeting also.
Actually,
You came here last time in our building,
You might
we-
want to come
and
to
I
the water
mentioned that
meeting
too.
tomorrow at 5 and ask that question.
You're killing me. You really are.
That's a very good question.
That's not
Like
our
I said,
intention.
there should,
Public Works Director would be there at that meeting.
my understanding is fire hydrants are supposed to
Wednesday.
be maintained twice a year or 3 times a year.
Today's Monday.
Again, that's out of
Is
my.
just my understanding from different town people that I know.
Okay.
It's got to be Tuesday.
And ours need to be maintained a little bit more often.
I don't disagree with you one bit there, sir. I understand that.
So,
Unfortunately, you're talking to the wrong group of folks, so.
again. But I do commend you on letting my neighbor build her garage. I thank you for that highly.
You're quite
And y'all have a good evening.
welcome. Sir,
Thanks
thank you very
again.
much.
Are you getting a schedule? Is it tomorrow or is it Wednesday?
I'm pulling it up right now.
Hold on. Yeah,
Yes. Okay. You got the information.
they'll tell you when the meeting is.
Okay,
The
so
water
let's-
board meeting.
We can, if there's nothing else,